Hey guys, if you haven't already seen my post on Facebook, I'm fixed. And I get that's gonna sound absolutely crazy to you. It is crazy, and if you're skeptical, I completely get it. Um, yeah, so a lot of my scoliosis issues were all connectional based. So I wasn't born with, um, scoliosis. I developed it after ankle injuries. You can kind of see the scar tissue there. And then obviously it got way worse with arm wrestling just because there was so much rotational strain. So the scoliosis was always rotational, and it was always really nerve based. So basically what I did on my left foot wasn't what I was doing on my right foot. It just, everything was off, right? The muscles I was using weren't the same on both sides. And that was my arms, my shoulders, my legs, everything. But yeah, it's fixed. I just went for a run. I feel amazing. And look, really, so like, I am not one of those people who believes that you can just pray for whatever you want and get it, okay? If that was the case, you'd have people be immortal, right? You'd have, like, no one would ever die who is a strong Christian. But that's not how it is, right? God obviously has a plan. All you can do is pray and just hope it either falls in his plan, he reaches out to you, whatever the case might be. And a lot of times it doesn't happen that way, right? So, I mean, if you know the Bible at all of God's first disciples and his followers, a lot of them were killed, right? They were killed for God, and they were willing to die for God. So faith wasn't an issue. It's just, you can't just pray your way into whatever you want. And that's not what happened here. I have been praying for a while, and I was always under the, I guess, the mindset of, Lord, if you're willing to do this for me, that'd be awesome. But I don't want to, you don't want to base your faith on something when you don't know the bigger picture, right? So if it's not in God's plan, you can't be praying for something that's not in God's plan. So you just kind of say, let your will be done, and humble yourself that way. But today it was an insane experience. I actually, I sat there, and for the first time, I felt that if I prayed and I believed that it would be fixed. It's hard for me to even say that out loud because I know how insane that sounds, especially to non-believers, right? If you're a believer, it should hopefully make a little more sense, but maybe not. But basically, God was there to meet me in the middle, and all I had to do was meet him with faith, which is why I had the Facebook post, because I actually made that, which is insane, before I even got out of the car. Hey, I had to pause the video after the last part because it's crazy to say that on video, that I made the post before I even, so basically I was praying in the car before I got out and went walking and went running eventually, to, use my body that now feels great. I made the post because that was the place I was in. And it's so hard to explain on video to people, especially, it's hard to explain to people in general in a one-on-one conversation, to explain to anyone who might be watching what happened is crazy hard. Basically, I believed at that moment that I was 100% fixed without actually standing up or anything, without feeling it. And that's a crazy concept, I guess, to take from someone if you're not a Christian. But yeah, once I got out of the car, it was fixed. So look, I get it. If you don't want to believe this, that's fine. If you think I'm a lunatic, that is fine. I get there's a lot of that going around nowadays, and maybe for good reason, right? Like, so you see all this church stuff, and you see people saying you just got to believe and you'll have money and you'll have yada yada yada. So I think there is some healthy skepticism around some of what the church is doing. However, I do think if you can separate the church as we have it from God, it's two separate things, right? Like, men and humanity always corrupt whatever they really touch. And that's not to say there's not good churches, but there's so many bad churches that if you have a perception of Christianity based on a church, it's probably flawed. It's probably flawed. And even if it's not a bad perception, it just, the only thing that matters is what is written. Really, I mean, what really matters is just what Jesus said, right? So love your neighbor, love your God, the two greatest commandments. So yeah, super awkward video to make. I get that a lot of you are not going to buy into any of this. That's fine, but it happened to me. So if you can put yourself in my shoes, or try to at least, and you pray for something, it happens to you, you have to give praise to God, right? You can't, like, what kind of person would you be if you prayed for something, God provided it, and you didn't give praise and credit and glory? You would just be I don't know, it'd be something else. But yeah, all right, guys, that's it. Hopefully it wasn't too awkward for you guys, but see ya.